Hello, my name is Ray Haywood, and I'm very pleased to be speaking with you today on the Eucharistic Summit. When Ann DeSantis and Bill Snyder approached me about becoming a speaker on the Eucharistic Summit, my title came quickly into view for me, and that is the Eucharistic Face of God, which I believe is our ordained priests in the celebration of the Mass. And I believe that if we were to place authority back onto the altars in the understanding of our ordained priests being the Eucharistic face of God, we will then, through grace, gracefully receive the authority back at our kitchen tables. In this chaotic worldly narrative where all authority is being taken away from everything, we need to recognize the order, form, and discipline that the Mass provides for us, provides for our families, provides for salvation history throughout the generations. This is intentional. As a young father in the gathering stage, I did not recognize how important the order, form, and discipline of the Mass was to my young family. I encourage young fathers to get to know all of the parts of the Mass, understand the beauty of it, but also understand the authority of the Eucharistic face of God, which our ordained priests step into in the celebration of the Mass, and that beauty. I'm part of a men's group, the Fraternity of St. Joseph men's group, and we've been placing resources into our faith community here in our local parish of St. Thomas Aquinas in Charlotte, North Carolina. And last March, we placed a resource of the St. Joseph 7-day family devotional for intentional fatherhood. And what that devotional shares is over a week of prayer, the father leading the family in prayer. It shares the beauty of the parts of our church with that young father, with that young family. And it explains quickly, it brings quickly into view the beauty of the church and just how important the parts of the Mass are. It relates it to virtues. So let's just go for the first day of Sunday. And Sunday is humility. The virtue of humility is what we explore. And in exploring that virtue, we come to understand that we see a perfect example of that humility in the Eucharistic face of God, our priests, and how we can take that example and then place ourselves into that role in our domestic churches. This is powerful stuff. This is very simple answers, very big awareness that I would like to share with you all. So in order to support that resource, what we did was we created a video to quickly share the beauty of that resource. And I would like to share that video with you now. So please consider what you're watching, be intentional. Consider to watch this with the awareness of how we can actually reach into our young fathers. It's a beautiful awareness that you're going to be able to come quickly into view with. Here's the video.
Under the guidance of Father Matthew Codd, the Fraternity of St. Joseph Men's Group is placing this year's resource of the St. Joseph 7-Day Family Devotional out to our faith community on March 19th, 2022, the Solemnity Feast of St. Joseph. The St. Joseph 7-Day Family Devotional is designed to strengthen our young fathers in the gathering stage of life, through its invitation to pray as a family whilst fortifying them and their families in the guiding graces that are found in our Catholic faith. This devotional continues to support the family by encouraging these fathers to pray the included family binding prayer daily as they equip themselves to face the trials ahead with the shared awareness found within these materials. The devotional begins with a message to the father encouraging him to intentionally guide his family over the coming week, each day focusing on a particular virtue. Sunday is humility, Monday is obedience, Tuesday is discipline, Wednesday is prudence, Thursday is patience, Friday is suffering, and Saturday is charity. Each day's virtue is viewed through the events in the life of St. Joseph and is enriched through gifts of our Catholic faith explored. Each day closes with a supporting daily prayer. With allotted time for contemplation and discernment, this daily devotional will require less than 15 minutes of family intention to complete. Sunday starts the week off with the virtue of humility. This virtue is explored through apostolic succession and Jesus' command of, "Do this in memory of me," through the lives of our priests in their fiat, Latin for "let it be done," which is their openness to being the Eucharistic face of God, and through St. Joseph being the perfect model of fatherhood in his fiat to his vocation of being the foster father and guardian of the Son of God. The week continues as we look inward in our discernment moving forward. Friday, we explore suffering and how to suffer well. We explore the Paschal mystery, the passion, death, and resurrection of Jesus. We view suffering through the lives of our saints and how, in times of need, we can turn to our patron saints, such as St. Joseph, patron of the Universal Church, to intercede for us in times of suffering. On Saturday, the devotional shares how our efforts are turned around as we begin to challenge ourselves to look outside of ourselves, to explore the virtue of charity through our interaction in our vocations and our communities. We look at charity through the ownership of our being part of the mystical body of Christ, and how we are called to help each other along the path through selflessly sharing our God-given gifts of our time, treasure, and talents. We all ought to seek out and mirror the charitable heart of St. Joseph. We see our spiritual fathers as the primary conduit to connect our young fathers with the St. Joseph 7-day family devotion. Our lay faithful parents and grandparents, and especially wives, are encouraged to place this year's resource in the hands of our young fathers by visiting the following sites: St. Thomas Aquinas' parish website, which is found at stacharlotte.com, or fsjjourneyman.com, the official website of the Men's Fraternity of St. Joseph. That's fsjjourneymen.com. This will be the third consecutive year that our FSJ men's group has placed a Tools of Reach out into our faith community. Our apostolate's mission is to assemble our spiritual fathers and deacons together with laymen to prepare our next generation of Catholic men in the just model of St. Joseph. Proceeding in this model, we aim to lead our families back to the objective truth rooted in the guiding graces of our sacraments and the sacrifice of Mass of our one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church. The St. Joseph 7-day family devotional aims to strengthen and fortify our young fathers and their families through its invitation to prayer. We believe that placement of this much-needed week-long devotional in our lay faithful community will have rippling effects that will cascade and transform not only in our faith community, but ultimately our public square. Wisdom shares with us that many young men find themselves lost in their faith during the gathering stage, only to find out later that, due to their misguided approach, these mistakes were at the expense of their family's peaceful resolve. Consideration towards our spiritual fathers giving out this resource to young fathers on special occasions in their family's faith journey is encouraged. Continued conversation on questions that our young fathers may have on the gifts of our faith that are intentionally placed within this devotional is the key to personal interaction needed to ignite the hearts of our young fathers in the gathering stage toward making a firm resolution of not only believing in, but also belonging to the body of Christ, our universal church. spiritual fathers, brothers all, consider starting a chapter of or become a member of the Fraternity of St. Joseph Men's Group in your parish and unite with the band of brothers we are intentionally assembling in the name of St. Joseph. Step closer to yourself and to your family through this week-long devotional. We can't do this journey alone. Read for yourself the attached binding prayer and the Band of Brothers prayer. There is much to be accomplished in the name of St. Joseph in this New Covenant Third Millennium life of our one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church. Strive to be a just man. Strive to be another Joseph.
Powerful awareness, no? So beautiful. That young man is Stephen Thomas in the video. He's also one of the hosts on The Remnant Show on Carolina Catholic here in Charlotte, North Carolina. You could find The Remnant Show on YouTube by looking up Carolina Catholic. It's 3 generations of Catholic men who approach current event topics in a way that those 3 generations can help others navigate through these trials that we're all facing. The Remnant is designed where we talk about a topic, then we marry up a saint to it, and then we have what we call a reman it challenge at the end, so that we strengthen those brothers, that band of brothers we're trying to build up. So I encourage all of our listeners today to visit the Fraternity of St. Joseph Men's Group website of fsjjourneyman.com and visit the resource documents area of the website where you could read for yourself the St. Joseph 7-Day Family Devotional, which is currently being made into a devotional booklet so that other parishes and deacons and pastors can use this resource to reach into these young fathers. While you're visiting those resources, be sure to look at the St. Joseph Paternal Leaders and also the St. Joseph Devotional Meeting resources that have been placed. We're working on additional resources now to place onto the website, and we encourage men to consider creating a chapter of the Fraternity of St. Joseph Men's Group in their own parishes to strengthen each other, to build up that band of brothers for the trials ahead. So, again, my name is Ray Haywood. I am so pleased to have had this opportunity to share with you the resource of the Fraternity of St. Joseph Men's Group, St. Joseph 7-Day Family Devotional for Intentional Fatherhood, so that we can reach into those young fathers. This resource is meant for spiritual fathers to engage, but we encourage grandparents, parents, especially wives, to find value in this week-long devotional so that our young fathers in the gathering stage don't miss out on the importance and the beauty of our one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church. Strive to be a just man, another Joseph.